day, hello, good morning, good afternoon, and goodbye. Peace. See ya.
Okay. All right. What's happening now?
You're not speaking into your microphone, I can't hear you.
What's happening? What was that for?
That's my intro now.
Goodbye.
Do your own now.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the Bomba on your Bomb Radio NG. My name is Olatelukwa. Abiat, you're warm welcome to the bar this afternoon. If you're just joining us, it's a very cold day in the city of Lagos. That's why I look like this. I'm not even going to go there. Anyway, so it's a very interesting day. If you're just joining us for the very first time, this is the bar where we bring you everything from politics, entertainment, sports, everything basically. We say everything in between, and so that's what we're going to be doing. We're talking about all this over drinks in a very relaxed atmosphere from now till the end of the hour. So sit back, relax, get your drink, get whatever it is that you take, and on behalf of the people that it is 7 p.m. at their time, welcome.
That's what it is, and of course, today on the show, we intend to take a look at a couple of political things that's happening in and around Nigeria, and how, what is it?
Oh, just go.
And how we tend to gloss over things that we need to dwell on, and dwell on things that we need to gloss over things that we're supposed to dwell on, and dwell on things that we're supposed to gloss over. However, it's an interesting time to be in Nigeria, and a lot of things are happening. And the fact that next year the incumbent president cannot run again, will not be running again, is causing a lot of frenzy. A lot of things are happening. There's a major build-up that has not even started, but already the tension is palpable. There's a lot of things happening. So it's our job really to look at things like she mentioned earlier, in a relaxed atmosphere, and be able to decipher some of these things, and also analyze them dispassionately, at times even passionately, but bottom line is to be able to shed light on stuff that's going down. And of course, lately there's been a flurry of interviews by front runners in the presidential race. We've had interviews by the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, and we haven't heard from his deputy. We've had interviews with, not us, with the media, majorly Channels TV and Arise TV. I've had interviews with the candidate of the Labour Party. He seems to be like
he's everywhere.
A regular.
He's everywhere. He's
Arise
everywhere.
especially. But he was on Channels TV a couple of days ago, and of course people were analyzing what he said. In between that time, the Minister for Works and former Governor of Lagos State was also on air talking about political issues, and those are things that people want broken down, and you shed light and put perspectives on some of these things. Then only recently, I think it was yesterday, the vice presidential candidate of the NNPP was also on air. Apparently he also spoke to the media, and we'll take a look at some of the highlights of what he said, and there's a lot of clamor now. People that Tinubu should be, and that's the candidate of the APC, since the candidate of the Labour Party, the PDP, have been on
And
air.
even the NNPP,
the AAC, Showore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was on air.
Okay, yeah, I think I saw a story. I didn't watch the interview, but I think I
was.
saw a story about that.
Yeah, so we just want to take a look at those things. And again, then a lawyer goes to defend his client,
And he's up in jail.
And ends
Ends
up
up in jail.
in prison
Oh, God.
for 1 month. Excuse me. And it sounds bizarre, and we would like to look at it and find out what's going on. He also happens to be the legal advisor or the lawyer for the AAC, which is Shore's party, and the party has now reacted to the order by a judge for their lawyer to be arrested. Although he wasn't arrested or jailed based on his affiliations to their party.
Oh no,
It's a different case.
So just as I was just checking now, 1 minute ago, Adebayo Oluwake says, "Shout out to you, Shola and Dolupo. Greetings from Lekki." Oh.
Hey.
Okay.
What's the weather like? I heard it snows. It
Really,
snows
it
in Lekki.
does. Really. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that comment. So basically, we're going to be breaking down a few things. I think we should start from the interviews. A few days ago, we broke down the interview of the Minister of Works and Housing. A few things that he said. A few things, back and forth. One interview that I saw was the interview of the vice presidential candidate of the NNPP, that's Pastor Isaac Idausa, or Reverend. I don't even know which one is which now. But
You can call him
It's
anything.
fine,
Call him Bishop self.
clergy.
At least
Yeah,
that one is the easiest one.
it's the easiest one. And the very first question I was asked, which I think was like probably going to be on the lips of a lot of people, was that if he was related to the very famous late Reverend Benson Idausa, where I think they're even from the same state and all. So he had come out to debunk that they just bear the same name. They are not related in any way. Because very interesting now, two people from same place, from same name, and they're both pastors and all that. Do you understand? So yeah, so it is official. Isaac Idausa and late Benson Idausa are not related in any way. But anyway, he is a pastor he's been a pastor for over 33 years. He's an engineer that hails from Edo State. He grew up in Niger State and lives in Lagos, where he pastors with his very big church. So you can say that he's kind of like a pan-Nigerian person, if we look at that.
I like the sound of Pan Nigerian.
Yeah, he is.
Because there used to be a company called Pan Nigeria.
Oh, really?
And they used to manufacture the Peugeot 504,
Oh, yeah.
505, Pan Nigeria.
Anyway, it looks like he's been around, yeah. In fact, in the interview, he said he started his church in Niger State before he moved to Lagos. So, yes, I think that you kind of begin to see that there's a large affiliation with the North and all that, which kind of understands maybe a bit of why he was picked. Because the honest truth is that the first reason, when I saw it too, and I'm sure a lot of people had reservations like, okay, who is this person? Why pick this person? So, but of course, Dr. Rabiu Kwakwanso has his reasons. But going into the interview, he said a few things. And I remember when I think it was being asked about what's happening, what does he have, experience does he have to become a vice presidential candidate of a party like NNPP, and keeping in mind that his principal used to be was a governor for 8 years for Kano State, which is arguably one of the largest states in the country with population-wise, economy, landmass. It's a very big state. So for you to be the governor of Kano State is a feat. He was a minister at some point. I think it was his senator or House of Rep member. I'm not sure exactly, but he was in the House of Assembly. So of course, you cannot say that Rabiu Kwakwanso is a small fry in the Nigerian political scene. But he, as a pastor, was being asked, okay, what exactly do you have to bring to the table? And he said that, and I quote, as a pastor for 33 years, other than his calling other than preaching, he had to do a lot of church politicking among different ethnic tribes. Do not laugh, please. Let me finish. among different ethnic tribes in the church as a role of pastor or a general overseer. So he has experience with dealing with people, and that what he's also bringing to the table as a pastor, he's bringing healing to the country. Now you can laugh or speak or whatever. Just respect yourself. Thank you very much. Swallow whatever it is you want to say then before you bring it out again. Thank you.
Okay. So it's funny how you taking a serious job and you're making a mockery of it. What if, look, it just happens that the NNPP wins? Because a lot of people say, oh, they can't. No, don't write anybody off. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. What if it happens that the NNPP wins and it is Kwankwaso and Idahosa? Idahosa as vice president does not instill any confidence in me at all. Like, how do you... Again, you wonder how they go into these campaigns without professionals working for them. They don't have PR people. They don't have strategists who would have prepped them for this.
Yeah.
Because his response is not correct. It's not strong enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't say what it should be saying.
It doesn't sound very, because...
You're bringing healing. If you have that healing, you're Nigeria now without becoming vice president.
Keep in mind that the current vice president, not candidate, the current vice president of Nigeria is a pastor. So I don't think you being a pastor adds anything to the Nigerian political scene at the moment. So, where you say you bring healing, you bring all these things.
You bring it again. His CV, his political CV, which is what he has put out, is about politicking in the church. And every time people say that the church has the most politics, people get angry. Now this is the top clergyman coming out to tell us that he is a top clergyman. You know. Okay, shout out to Mr. Oluwake on YouTube. He says, congratulations, Boom Radio NG, 144 views yesterday was super. Growing and reaching many more viewers worldwide. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. You know, so he is a top clergyman. He is. That's why they put him in, and that's why
heard of him.
I've never heard of him too, but now I have. Never heard of him before. I haven't, but it's the same way people have not heard of the bishops that attended the unveiling of Shetima.
They're not vice presidential candidates.
But at least it's the same way people have not heard of them. So I've not heard of them too. I've not heard of him. But okay. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. However, when they're asking you about your political experience and all you have to do is talk about the political experience you have in church, hey sir, I'm not sure you're ready. Although we know that church politics can be terrible. Again, it casts aspersions on some of these statements that are being made by the Christian Association of Nigeria. You know, because again, I don't know, I'm going to link this without even running it by Dolupo because it's a bar now. Why not?
Okay.
So there's controversy around CAN now and some election or some new leader or not a new leader.
Oh, I saw something like that, but I didn't read that story.
Okay.
So I'm listening.
So there's a general secretary of CAN who was revealed that someone named Oko is a new CAN leader. Then the next day, CAN replies and says it's not true.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I even carried that story.
Oh, yeah. You know, so this is a story in PM News Nigeria, and apparently a statement was signed by Pastor Adebayo Oladeji, the media assistant to the Ayokunle Khan. You know when they start to say the Ayokunle Khan.
Okay, I have a question.
Factions.
I have a question.
Wait. You don't understand. There's factions of Khan.
That's why I have a question.
One would be Christian association. The other one is unchristian.
I have a question.
You see?
I have a very serious question. Now, my question remains. I thought I'm a Christian, yeah? So, you know that, okay, things like associations and maybe picking pastors or picking leaders generally is for Christians. I think that people should get to a point where we understand that things like that are supposed to be spiritual.
This one is not spiritual. In fact.
So I'm wondering, remember a few weeks ago, Pastor Kumi had come out to knock them to say that are they a political party? Please, what is the difference between what is happening in CAN now and what happens in the PDP or in the APC or the CPC or anybody?
Okay, so still staying with the PM News story. CAN added that while it is true that most Reverend Oko has emerged the candidate from the Electoral College.
There's an Electoral College.
Apparently. From the Electoral College. His election must be ratified by the National Executive Council and the General Assembly of the Association.
I have a question.
Christian
Why is
Christian
it? That's
Association of
the,
Nigeria.
see, all this is the one that is busting my brain. Like, it's literally busting my brain. Is the fact that okay, when you like as if you when you say the people want to get new general overseers and all that, I'm not sure that I've ever heard people vote for those things. Yeah, so they actually have campaign. Yeah, aren't those things supposed to be like led by the Spirit? In fact, who your next leader is supposed to be? Okay.
Because of this, they're saying that
at this point,
the announcement
was premature
by Joseph Daramola can be further from the truth. That's what this person, maybe they cannot be further from the truth is what they wanted to write. For the record, Daramola is not the spokesman of the association, but the general secretary. Now, this sounds like some kind of infighting and issues within.
Sounds like it is infighting.
The Christian Association of Nigeria.
Oh my God. Like, you can imagine infighting, like that whole sentence is very contradictory. So this is fighting in the Christian Association of Nigeria is fighting. What is left? Let us just pack our load. But the Republic is here. Here we come. Because it's hilarious. It is the height of humor. It is the height of I don't even know where to go anymore, because at this point, these are the same people that knock the government. They're the ones that knock everybody. They're the same people that are not doing well. They're the ones that say, and you know, even that same Bible tells you that you should remove the log in your eye before you remove the speck in someone else's eye. And I'm lost. If you people cannot sort yourselves out, how do you have the standing? How do you have the moral justification to put the government and to put people on the straight and narrow?
Yeah. So
I don't get it.
You see, and this is what we're saying, and I think that's why they've been focused on politics so much, and it's beginning to affect them as a body.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
So, I don't know though. It sounds like a script. It sounds like a badly written script about a low budget movie that you don't want to watch. So someone is forcing it down your throat. Because me, I don't know how CAN is.
How CAN is fighting. How they have factions.
You're also supposed to be like above board.
We definitely would stick to that. But before we leave the issue of interviews, before you carried us to CAN's matter, the governorship candidate of the PDP in Lagos State has come out, and he had done an interview with Arise TV where he's put a lot of accusations, throwing a lot of accusations all over the place. He's accusing the Nollywood of having a notable silence after he picked a Nollywood actor, very popular, Funke Akindele, as his running mate. Basically alleging that they're not as supportive as they had expected them to be. I want to read it out, then you would also
go right what's his name again?
I know it's Ajando. I can't remember what his name is.
That's the PDP.
Yeah, the PDP governorship candidate
has called out Nollywood actors.
Yeah,
it's called out the Lagos State
also
government.
The Lagos State government. He said that the Lagos State government after picking Funke Akindele, that they put out a press statement calling him unserious. But I remember that press conference. I thought it was the APC, not the government. But anyway, he said in his words that the Lagos State government had called PDP unserious for picking a Nollywood actor. They accused Lagos State government of removing PDP posters around the state every single day, and when they post the posters, that they have also instructed billboard owners not to take PDP materials. That two different billboard companies that had even taken it, that have started running it, had to refund their monies because they claim that the Lagos State government had said that they would retrieve their licenses if they continue to take their material.
Let me take it from the back. So the last gubernatorial elections, or even for those of us who live in Lagos East, there was a runoff election, for the senatorial.
And
the House of Assembly seats.
Yeah,
you get, and we live on the border of Lagos and Ogun, and we would always observe how posters were appearing and disappearing. So he hasn't lied in that area, and at times I'm not going to lay it at the foot of the government. I know that Lagos State is strict about posters appearing in certain places, and they have an agency that more or less scrapes them off the wall. But we've not seen those guys in like 1 million years now. But we also know that political thugs working for politicians also so in that aspect, I know that
it's very true. But the thing is, the people up there might not be.
I'm not done. Sorry, there's every possibility that has happened. But when the PDP and the APC went head to head for the senatorial and House of Assembly seats, they both had candidates. The others did not. Nobody's poster was torn. I saw them posters everywhere, right? When
in fact, this area, if you remember very well, there was a lot of PDP candidates. It was actually.
Yeah, and again, 4 years ago, or 3.5 years ago now, when the campaigns started, Jimmy Agbaje posters were everywhere now. In fact, BOG, who had moved to another party to contest the governorship, if we were ranking posters,
I think BOG's posters, because
Sanwo-Olu won. That BOG guy had more posters than
I agree.
Agbaje,
yeah, BOG posters were everywhere.
The guy went all out.
Yes, he did with posters.
Everybody had billboards and stuff. So for me, it sounds like
maybe Lagos State has changed.
It sounds like he's crying wolf to me. Yeah. Now, this is me. It's not double speak. I'm putting that. I know that it's something that politicians do. Even the PDP people do it. The APC people do it. You find that you just find posters defaced or torn. You get. But I won't say.
But will billboards?
State government.
That's a huge allegation.
Will billboards being recalled and payments being given back and everything? Now that's a different ball game entirely. And if you're going to say that kind of thing, don't say it if you're not ready to prove it. So that everybody can call them out and put them to the sword. If he's going to go off just saying, this is what I did.
Or don't you mention names of the companies?
Yeah, so you need to show proof that that the companies record or retracted stuff, and it was based solely on the fact that you were PDP. Then let the Lagos State government know that whatever, if they've done that, that's stupid. Why would they want to do that? Because again, campaigns have multiple elements. A lot of things come to play. We understand the branding aspect.
But also, campaigns have not started though.
Yes, they shouldn't have even started putting out things. But I've already started seeing medium signs in some.
Yeah, isn't that even indicting himself?
He could even say that he wasn't the one that paid. That with some people.
But he just said it out that materials that
maybe materials that his friend helped him to put out. Because
I was going to say that campaigns are not started. That is a little bit indicting.
So it might not be completely true, but I know that yes, tearing up people's posters is
Is
another
a thing.
stupid thing that politicians do, and they do it regardless. Even with the intra-party self, they do it to themselves. So let's move away from that.
Okay,
The
fine.
Nollywood one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I would
you've
like to
finished.
respond to that. That's why I said I was taking it from the back.
Mhm.
Did you pick Funke Akindele after consulting Nollywood and getting their buy-in to say, once I pick Funke Akindele as my running
You
mate,
people are going to.
you guys have to support me? Is that the agreement? Because if you're expecting some kind of groundswell of emotions and support because you picked one of their own, you're wrong, sir. Oh, wrong now. Kilode, Egbon, Mr. Uncle Daddy. What exactly were you thinking? Sounds like entitlement to me. You are sounding entitled. Why do you think that because you pick Funke Akindele, Nollywood will support you? Think now. Even the Funke Akindele that you're talking about, how much of Nollywood is she? If you want to break it down, yes, she's doing well. She thrives in the industry, but how many other people's movies have you seen?
Do you see her in?
Funke?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
understand? Like, do you really think she's core Nollywood like that? And again, are those people not entitled to their own choices as human beings, as adults, to choose whom they want to support? Are we going to play this card again? You're a politician. Please, tell us what you're going to do better than the people who have been doing it all these years. Tell us how you can improve on the systems in Lagos. Don't be dwelling on such mundane things as they're not supporting Funke and they're trying your posters. We get it. They're tearing your posters, but this is you on national TV now. Can you tell us
Why people should vote for you
issue-based
instead of you?
things? Because it just looks as if you just want to whip up sentiment and ask people vote for you based on sentiment. But we're past that level now. Nigerians
Yeah, I think
should
we
be
are.
voting
We are.
based on
Competence.
Thank you.
Yes, I it's very interesting. Yeah. Before we leave the issue of interviews, another interview that has been going off, that has been making the rounds, making people talk, is the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, who is the former governor of Anambra State. And one thing that is on the lips of everybody was a statement he made. He made a lot of statements. He actually grants a lot of interviews that you cannot take away from him. Well, one segment that has even become a joke, not just in Nigeria, but even in the United States, was where he said that it was talking about the sporting situation in Nigeria, the sports in Nigeria, and it was off of the World Championships and Toby Amushon and all that. And he was talking about how there's so much movement from Nigeria to other countries, where if you take 150 NBA players, 100 of them will be Nigerians.
that's a real cough.
No, that's not a real cough.
Sadly, I am first and foremost used to be and will always be a sports journalist. And in my entire few days of covering sports, there's nowhere at any given point in time that Nigeria had that many people. Even if you cumulatively list all the people who have played in the NBA since inception, I think the presidential candidate of the Labour Party made a mistake on this. Let's give him a soft landing and say, I think he made a mistake on that one. But again, why?
Maybe we should stop throwing numbers around, though.
Yeah, why do you feel the urge to? Okay, you know what? Why don't you just write your facts down? Maybe put them on a cue card, or even ask the TV stations to put it on a prompter for you. You get what I'm saying? Like, or you put it on a laptop beside you and reel out those figures. Because again, come on. I saw videos of Americans laughing at us.
Yeah. That's the part where it got to me the
They're
most.
laughing
Like,
at us,
oh, okay.
really? So what?
Like
happened
a
to the other
presidential
people?
candidate can say this. I'm like,
Yeah,
wow.
They're laughing at us, sir. Please, sir. I know that you mean well for Nigeria. I hope you do.
Let's just
And
be
I know you
getting our
do.
facts right.
But coming to say stuff like there's that many number of Nigerians in the NBA when there's just 5 of them, and the other 5 are not playing for Nigeria. They're of Nigerian descent one way or the other, though they play for, listing Giannis Antetokounmpo and co as Nigerian basketballers is wrong.
This person
It's
is
wrong.
not
You don't
Nigerian. Let's
understand.
be honest.
Them boys like their heritage.
They're
but
heritage,
they're
but
Greek
they're
players.
not Nigerian. They were not
Yeah.
even born in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Let's stop touching. We like to farms a lot.
Yeah,
Let's stop farming.
And you see, again, how does that even improve on Nigerian sports?
Oh, Nigeria, it doesn't. Does Nigerian sports need help? Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does.
What you should be saying, you, Kwankwaso, Atiku, and Tinubu are people who have been in government.
Yeah.
Atiku, 8 years as vice president. Sports falls under him.
Mm-hmm.
You, governor, Kwankwaso, governor, Tinubu, governor. What did you do in your 8 years?
What is sports? What was sports like?
All three of you, including Atiku, making 4 as vice president. What did you do in sports to produce a Toby Amusan? Do you understand? Let's start from there. Let's stop all this farms in that we're doing. Everybody wants to leverage on a massive brand like Toby Amusan. Like, she's a global icon now. She's a global star. That girl should be like president of Nigeria.
I saw a tweet. I saw a tweet where someone had said that. Remember the old advert of, I think, Nike, that they did. I am Tiger Woods. That they need to redo that advert. Like, I am Toby Amusha. Like, okay, that is not a bad idea at all. She is who she is. That you cannot take away from that. Of course, looks like it's a time of interviews. There are going to be a lot more interviews coming up, and then we're going to be here to break down a lot of those interviews. So moving off interviews and moving on to the House of Assembly, as today the Senate has come up to this minority caucus of the Senate is giving the President Muhammad Buhari 6 weeks ultimatum to solve the security situation in the country, or else they will start an impeachment process against him.
That's them being active. That's them doing something, emphatic. Giving the president a 6 week ultimatum. That's like giving him the marching orders to solve the security issues in Nigeria. That's not a bad thing at all. But I know that a lot of senators have crossed to other parties from the APC, but the APC is still the majority party in the House as of today.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be difficult for them, except they have people on the APC side who will join them for that impeachment process.
Exactly.
If they don't, then whatever they are doing will be a waste.
Because
it might be a good kick in the behind for the president and his team.
But maybe, just maybe, if you're really just the minority, because yes, is it a good thing to say? It might not be a bad thing. Does Nigeria have security issues? Oh, major ones. But I'm coming up from the angle that, how realistic is this? This is a president that has been there for almost 8 years. In fact, I think that it would have been best to impeach him when there was a PDP Senate president and a PDP Speaker of the House of Representatives. Both houses or both assemblies.
So if they tell you that security wasn't that bad that time as compared to now, so there was no need to impeach him.
Very possible. What I'm saying is that we know that these two chambers need an input to, and this is just a few months to the end of the president's tenure. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to say. I'm just saying that how realistic is this? Anyway, before we move off, because I saw something. Remember somebody that was talking about pains. They have come out to give evidence of how much of being in pain they are. But before we move from that, the House of Representatives is actually moving in motion. They're trying to amend the Central Bank Act, and the major reason for the amendment is to stop central bank governors or basically central bank executives, top executives, from venturing into politics?
It's one of the best things I've heard this week, and even this year when it comes to politics in Nigeria. It's something that never happened before. Well, never happened openly before, where the governor of the central bank is bold enough,
Yeah,
to contest.
Even took the electoral body to court to waive off the fact that to allow him contest for president, or not even local government chairman.
So I think again, our laws are not perfect, and this is a way to make it better.
Oh yes.
This kind of law should be passed quickly and swiftly, and maybe even backdated.
Yeah, like for me, you remember
because
what I said is that
Mr. Godwin Emefiele should concentrate on his job of fixing the economy and running the central bank, not contesting for president. To be honest with you, it should have been sacked by now.
To me,
is Mr. President, Mr. Muhammadu Buhari, telling us that
it's okay,
is the only person that can run it,
like
even with the fact that some of his policies seem to be off.
Yeah,
and again, he contested a partisan election. You don't understand.
You know, for me, he attempted to run. For me, my issue with the Nigerian, why I like this is because it's something I've been saying over and over again. A lot of our laws are very vague. They're not there. That's why people will go to court, because they need interpretation of this law. But there are a lot of things that if it is stated out clearly, black and white, there are cases that you will take to court now. Even the judge will be like, "Are you joking? What am I doing here?" Do you understand? If the law is stated out in black and white, then we can move on from this thing. So yes, I think that they need to move on. They need to send this to the Senate for concurrence, and the president needs to sign this first.
And this law should not be about the central bank alone. Well, at the moment, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Boomba on your Boom Radio NG. At the moment, we're discussing a plan by the House of Assembly to enact a law that will prevent the central bank governor from being partisan. Now, this law should look at other agencies of government where they're supposed to be neutral. Yes, we understand that government fills in those positions with their own party members in certain areas. It's understandable. But the position of central bank is a neutral one.
Yeah, remember that he even started as the central bank governor from the previous government.
Yeah, he was brought in by, I think it was Goodluck Jonathan.
Goodluck Jonathan,
that put him there. And Buhari renewed that tenure for him. So we need to get to a point where we're able to look at other agencies that are supposed to be neutral also, and ensure that they stay neutral. Like one of the funniest things that this government tried the other time, when a former member of Buhari's media team
they wanted to be an INEC official. Where was that? Unfortunately for her, she's always been very, very, very vocal. So I'm like, okay, make it make sense. Where does this add up? So yes, I agree with you. This shouldn't just be CBN. This should cut across. Moving off from that, I was going to talk about a little bit of entertainment, but before we get to that, let's go to the courts. Before we even go to the courts, former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, has come out to say that during the 2018 elections, he had come out that he had gotten some injuries. He had survived some injuries that he got during the 2018 elections in Ekiti State. And the result of those injuries is what has caused him to have 2 different surgeries in the space of 5 months.
As a human being, I always commiserate with people when they're going through stuff. I've been through mine in recent times. We all go through things, and we pray that things will get better for us and we all have a fulfilled life. But as a politician, I would like to remind him the way I would call out Mr. President, Mr. Buhari, that he has failed. Again, Egmont Ayodele Fayose has failed. Yes, sir. 8 years as a governor.
8 years as a governor of Ekiti State.
Same way Mr. President keeps going abroad
agree.
For treatment. Shouldn't we be past that stage by now? 8 years as a governor. Invest, even if he was investing a fraction of his state's income every quarter on a world-class hospital.
Yeah.
By now, it will be in that hospital in Ado Ekiti or somewhere in
Ekiti State.
In Ekiti, getting the best treatment ever. You understand? So people like him, people like Tinubu that go abroad for medical treatment, I see them as failed when it comes to health.
Yeah.
Yes, there might be good guys in other areas or they might have achieved stuff, but
if
you cannot build hospitals where you can be treated in,
what's the point? What are we dealing with? So still talking about Ekiti.
Shout out to him, man.
Still talking about Ekiti. Now court has granted the SDP candidate, Chief Shaguni, access to inspect electoral materials. You know that he had gone to the court. He had grievances about the June 18 elections. Now he has been granted access to inspect INEC materials that was used for the elections.
Well, I hope he gets a forensic expert to help him with that. Let it not be him and his team doing it alone. I hope he goes through every process that would ensure that his
justice is served.
Is served. And if he really actually was cheated, then he should get, what's it called? He should get the courts to upturn the victory of the APC governorship candidate, the awaiting governor. But if it doesn't, there's one thing that does for a governor. It
validates your position. Yes, it validates your election. Yes.
Look at Matawale of Zamfara now. All the court cases against his defection. He's done now.
He's done. Yeah. So it actually validates you. I agree with that. Talking about the courts, another very interesting that happened in court today is where a judge has sent a lawyer to 1 month in prison today, which, don't get me wrong, why I don't even think it's a weird thing, because we know that people are sent to jail on contempt. Basically, he's been sent basically insulting. That's what it means for people that do not know. Basically saying that you're insulting the court or insulting the court process or anything. So according to him on social media, his Twitter page, he had a long list of things that he had said where he was in court. He was just in court for his client who has a case against the governor of I think Akwa Ibom State, and it said that the judge came and basically asked a reporter to leave the courtroom. Then 2 policemen heavily armed were in the courtroom, and that when the court case was proceeding, he had asked if those people could leave the courtroom because he was feeling unsafe with what they were doing, that there was no need for them to be in the courtroom. And next thing was that he saw the judge was writing something. He did not know that it was his jail invitation that was being written. And next thing, he was being sentenced to 1 month in prison. He was sentenced to the Uyo prison, but according to him, a few hours ago, the Uyo prison had, because of COVID protocol, had rejected him and is back to court, saying that they're waiting for the judge to retransfer him to Ikot Ekpene prison.
Okay. This case is in court, so again, we also need to be careful when the case is ongoing, so that you're not also held in contempt, because you can actually be even while you're not in court. However, I don't think it's fair on him, because if what he said is what transpired, we've not heard from the other side. It is sounding like a miscarriage of justice already. If what he put out on social media is what had happened exactly, then there's really something wrong.
Okay, so I have a thing to say about that. And this is not even about the judicial system. My issue is with a lot of people have been going through trends and what's it called on Twitter. And I think that we are a little bit hypocritical and we have selective activism. Why? Because I'm sure that if this thing had happened in maybe a Lagos State court, let me say Lagos State, in a Southwest court, I doubt if this thing would not be trending number one by now. Nobody. Like, yeah, a few people are going on about it, but it's not trending. This happened about 3-4 hours ago. It's not on major places. Wait, where do we draw the line from activism? Because the first question is, for me, is shouldn't there be a few people going there to find out what's happening? Why is this person? What did this person do? Nobody is really talking about it. But we're very quick to jump on it when it comes to some certain people. Right now, looks like the judge, the governor, everybody, there's somebody liable for something here, if that is what really happened. But even if, shouldn't there people already be finding out what is happening? There are a few human rights lawyers that things that don't even concern them in the bit, that is not even basically like human rights stuff, they jump on it like it's no man's business. This is a major case of human rights. And then where are they? What's happening?
Well, I won't be quick to say that human rights lawyers and other civil society actors have not gotten involved. I know how they operate at times like this. They are doing a little bit of fact finding. A lot of people will be making their way to that state. That's Akwa Ibom State, right? As we speak. And I know that the party that he belongs to, the ANC, have already come out, which is led by Shore. Have already come out to condemn the actions of the judge and all of that. So I'm not going to. Maybe by tomorrow, if you don't get that kind of frenzy that you say you expect, it's fine. But again, on the part of the general populace or social media crowd, it has become a us versus them situation. So, and us being most people on social media who do not support the government of the day at the center, which is the APC, and they are the bulk of the government in the southwest that you referenced. So it's a us versus them situation. They, the us, feel that anything that government does is bad. Okay. And anything that is done by another government person that is not another is passable. Yeah, they can look the other way. You can actually literally read when they write things. Yeah. As long as it's not the APC, they don't care. Yeah, and all of that. Exactly. And the PDP can actually get away with blue murder. Now the governor, in case, who might have influenced this, or that they're referencing, or that his name has been mentioned in this, is the PDP governor. So you will not get that kind of backlash. You're not going to get that kind of backlash because the bulk of the people, the bulk of the influencers, the bulk of the social media people are at loggerheads with the APC. So it's only the APCs that you will find that kind of. Okay. All right. Quickly before we go, there are a lot of entertainment news as Thames is in the news again as she has earned herself a 2022 MTV VMA nomination with Best Hip Hop Video for her contributions for Future's Wait For You. Thames is going to be shattering the ceiling. Going to be the biggest artist out of Nigeria this year, the way things are going. Yeah. It's time to be corrected. I agree with you. She is on the Wakanda Forever soundtrack album. She's on Beyonce's new album. She's done Drake. She's done Future. Essence with Whiskey opened the way
Oh
for
yeah,
her.
it did. I think she will forever
She's
be
on
grateful
tour.
to
She's packing
Whiskey for that.
big venues now
Mhm.
and all of that. And she's at shows where you see people singing along. That's when you know you've arrived.
Yeah.
Shout out to Thames.
Shout out to Thames. And
you
also,
go, girl.
yeah, still talking about Thames. Now it's Thames, Phils, Burna Boy, and Benson, where they seem to, not seem actually, they have appeared on former US President Barack Obama's 2022 summer playlist. You know, he's always releasing. A few years ago, I think it was Rema that was on it. I think there was Whiskey's Essence has popped up on it. Davido's songs has popped up on that list as well. This year, it is the turn of Burna Boy, Phil, Thames, Phils, and Buju. This year, I think it's a playlist now. Every year, everybody's looking forward to it, and it definitely makes the rounds. Another very interesting story that popped up yesterday, and I think this is one maybe we might have to discuss a little bit, is the one that Headies has officially withdrawn the nominations of Portable due to different police investigations and different allegations against him.
So everybody seems to be in agreement with the Eddies for withdrawing the nominations. He has 2 nominations,
Yeah.
I think.
Nominations for Best Street Artist and Rookie of the Year.
And I might have a contrary view,
Okay.
and I don't care. It's my opinion. In the first place, what is the catchment period for songs or artists to be nominated? This guy's song dropped only December, and I'm wondering how he's nominated for an award that stretches far back. Do you get? Except they said it's within the catchment
Okay.
period. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll take that. That's 1. 2. Is it part of the Eddies rules governing their awards? You get, like, I remember there was some point in time Naira Marley had a run-in with the law, and there are other people who've had issues up and down. So is it a moral awards? Is your
But at some point, he threatened other nominees.
but they moved on after he threatened. You see, this is the hypocrisy in what the Eddies has done. So when he threatened other nominees, he apologized. They moved on. I think their TV arm even interviewed him on one funny thing like that. Do you get? So why are you now doing it based on something else that he said? If they were going to disqualify him then,
They should.
They
This
should
was it was perfect reason to have disqualified him
look,
there once and for
you
all.
already threatened other nominees. This you're out. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
Not
you.
now that what he said. I still feel the police should investigate. I still feel that the guy talks too much. I still feel that he's not a serious human being and that he doesn't understand what he has achieved.
Well,
in such a
yes,
short
I
time.
don't think so. I don't
So,
think so as
He's
well.
going to piss it away, and I hope that it's not too late before he wakes up and realizes that what he has, if it's gone, he might never get it back. If anybody knows him, tell Portable to wait. Just stop talking.
Coming down.
Just go and concentrate on building your music and do your influencer job. But if this is what Portable feels will continue to make him relevant, well, good luck to him. But hey, the awards is about music. You nominated him for 2 categories, and except you will say, because I'm one that likes to follow the rules, except you say that in the rules it is stated that any controversial statement or any artist that has a criminal record or might be invited by the police is disqualified. What they've done doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry, it doesn't. So if you are keeping in music, keep in music. But you're bringing in what he said that had nothing to do with your awards. Nah. I don't think it's right. But what do I know? I do not own the awards. I think the owners are showing that they can make rules. Didn't they just add 1 or 2 categories recently?
I think 3.
After they had brought out the full list of nominees. Do you get?
Yeah.
So they're not showing us how serious they are. They're not showing how consistent they can be with keeping, with the
with what they're doing.
The brand that they have created.
Okay.
So
I think I get what you're saying.
You don't make rules as you go. You know what I mean? They may just add one WhatsApp chat and be like, let's disqualify him after we didn't even want him in the first place. Why did you even nominate him?
Nominate him.
That's the thing. So for me, you shouldn't have nominated. I don't even think he deserves a nomination. But that after nominating him, you remove him for something he said about having 1 million links to a criminal gang. That's not got to do with your awards. It has nothing to do with your awards whatsoever. Absolutely nothing to do with your awards. Because when he called out you guys and your award, and he was threatening people in quotes, because you can watch that video and understand it from the street side. You left him. Said he had apologized.
Okay, finally, before we go on, Burna Boy is in the news again as his song Last that is his first entry on the Billboard Hot 100 has moved 14 places in the space of 1 week. He debuted on the album at number 86, and as of today, he is now number 72.
Burna Boy, steady rising, doing all the things that he needs.
Yeah, doing all the right things.
Musically,
I agree.
Brother was in Barbados a few days ago. Now he's in America again, getting ready for another show and all of that. Raking in the cha-ching. Look, I'm happy for Burna Boy, and I'm hoping that, of course, it would continue to rise and grow. But remember also that you have to be a good guy, and just rein in the crazy and put out the creative,
Yeah. Okay. On that note, before we go, for people that do not know, they love places. The NLC is still going on with it. I think it's a 3-day protest. With the protesting about the ASU strike. So yeah, today it said that they took the protest to the National Assembly. Everybody has grievances. Let them let it out. It's not a crime. It's not as long as nobody's breaking the law, I think, and everybody allow other people. To me, I think that's it. Allow people actually have free flow. Not everybody wants to join your protest. Some people just want to go get to where they're going and back easily. That's it for me. So on that note, that is all we're able to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow with another wonderful edition of the bar. It is boomradio.com.ng. Have a